Okay, Tony.hardy here again with the National Multi-Housing Group. And I want to talk a little bit about what happens if you decide to list your property with me. You have an apartment building, um, and I take a look at it, do an analysis. A lot of times we may do an analysis 6 months, a year, even longer before you decide to put the property on the market. In that analysis, I point out certain things to you and I think you can do maybe to improve the property, improve the occupancy rate. Sometimes it's things as little as, hey, did you know you got your sign on that side of the building, but if you put it on this side of the building, they'll be able to see it from that intersection. And that intersection gets 37,000 cars per day, according to what we have. Little things like that that may help you fill up the building or reduce your expenses. I may see something in your rent roll. I may see something in your expense sheet that you may be able to work on over the next year or 6 months in order to reduce your expenses. And if you got lower expenses, you got higher rents, guess what? We can charge a little bit more for the property. But we've got past that. We've got to a point where we want to actually list the property and put it on the market. Typically, it's a 6 month listing agreement. And wow, why 6 months? Why you can't do it in 30 days or 90 days? Well, we can do it in 30 days or 90 days, but typically you want to take your time with this. You don't want to take the 30-day price. I put a property on the market. A lot of times I'll get 10 or 15 showings. I may get 7 offers that are just offers, and I may get 3 offers that may make sense to work with. And a lot of times that's not the first offer. Sometimes your first offer is not your best offer. And it takes time. And a lot of these buyers are buying all the time. They may have 5 or 6 deals in their pipeline now that they're trying to get out, and they need to get those deals out before they can focus on the next round of deals. A lot of them are syndicators we deal with. They have money coming in from investors around the country, and they have to spend that money. They have to find deals. They have to focus on deals, and that's what we help them do. Um, so typically, I take a listing. Your property is here. I get the listing. The first thing I do is update the marketing package, make sure the marketing package is absolutely impeccable, that we're showing investors a clear pathway to profit, that we're highlighting all the good things about your property. We're not over extending ourselves, so when they look at it, they're going to be disappointed. We're also updating the sales comps. I'm calling the neighbors around you to find out rent comparables. So if I tell them that there's an opportunity there to increase rents, I show them exactly how they can increase rents. It's not just a pie in the sky. Hey, these neighbors are getting this much in this building, and they got smaller units. Um, so that's the first thing we do. We get the marketing package updated. We get it in our system. And once it's in our system, it immediately goes out to 1,300 plus agents. Everybody gets it at the same time. That's great because if they may have a buyer that's looking to do something. They may have a buyer that's looking for that kind of return or looking to get into that market. So 1,300 agents with a database, minimum database that we allow is 500 per database. But let's just say 1,300 agents get that deal. I'm in your market. I call the guy with the building next door on both sides. That's my first call. I call everybody within a quarter mile of your property with a similar like property. You got a 60 unit apartment building, guess what? Everybody with a 60 to 120 unit building, a 30 to 120 unit building within a quarter mile, half mile of your property, I'm on the phone with them, working my way out. The next thing I do is I call to let them know, not necessarily to buy the deal, just let them know, hey, we got a property on the market. This is the price. You may be interested in finding out more information about it. Some people not interested. Some people say, yeah, I know that deal. Um, I thought about buying that building years ago and I got beat out by the guy that got it now. I'll take a look at it. That happens sometimes. So as I'm working my way out, this deal, um, I may send out an email to my database. 3,500 people gets to take a look at that deal in the email. Same time, I'm calling all of the active buyers and sellers. If you bought a deal or sold a deal in that market within a mile or 2 miles of that property in the last 24 months, I'm going to get you on the phone and tell you about the deal. You may tell me to go pound sand. You may tell me you're not interested in buying or selling. That's fine with me. I just want to make you aware that this property is available. While I'm doing this, the other brokers throughout the country are taking a look at this. We have what's set up called buyer's needs. And if that property fits a particular buyer need, it's automatically emailed to that buyer. And we have another called a Starker list. These are 1031 exchange buyers that have sold a property within the last 60 days. They're automatically getting the property. Those eyeballs are on your deal. I'm not saying they're going to be knocking the door down to get it, but we don't need them all. We just need one or two or 10. Um, at this point, somewhere around this point, we start to collect offers. These offers start to come in. As we continue to expose the property, it goes out. After about 45 days, we have it on the internet. One thing I'm not going to do, unless you want it, but rarely do I put a sign on the property. I'm selling an apartment building. The first people that's going to notice a sign on the building saying that this apartment building is for sale is the tenants. And we don't want to disturb the tenants. Typically, we'll get a vacant unit, 2 vacant units in the building, a few vacant units that represent each size or each style of apartment that you have. That's a good representative of the building. Maybe they're turned ready to be rented. And those are the units that we'll show to these initial buyers or prospects that want to take a look more closely at the building. They'll usually request our marketing package and more details on the financials. We'll send them that. We'll get them inside the building. We'll let them take a look at a few vacant apartments typically and the boilers, the boiler room, mechanicals, the common areas. If anybody asks, we're doing an insurance quote, or we're giving you a quote for some construction or something like that. We're not trying to uproot the tenants. These offers start coming in. We field the offers. We qualify the offers. A lot of times these are people I've done business with already, so we know that they're qualified to do business, to buy the building. And we're trying to separate them. Who's cash? Who's financed? Who's serious? Who's not? We start to counter the offers. If we got 5, 6, 7 offers, a lot of times if it's a good investment grade property, you may have 10 offers. So we start working on the counter offers to separate. Usually they send an initial offer in and tells us what they are willing to pay for the property or what they want to pay for the property. We want to move them from they want to pay price to the will pay price. And how we do that is by creating competition. And you get that competition because you got multiple agents working on a deal, you got multiple buyers looking at the deal, and eventually we'll narrow the field down to 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 people that are very serious. There's usually a couple people that jump out of the pack and say, hey, I want that deal. What is it going to take to get it done? That's who we're looking for. And we'll work with them. And we'll get them. And we'll negotiate the terms to get you the highest price uh, in the shortest period of time with the best terms to give you the least headache. Uh, from there, I work on escrow management. I give it to my team, and we're working with the lender. We're working with your attorney, the title company, uh, the appraisers, and everybody else that's involved, the inspectors, building inspectors, everybody that's involved to get this deal over the finish line. Uh, Typically, on a cash deal, we're closing these deals in 30 days or less, 45 days or less. Some investors are closing this market in 10 or 14 days if you can get your title clear and stuff together in that time. And finance deals, depending on the deal size and the lender we're taking it to, if it's a bank, typical bank deals are closing in about 60 to 75 days. If there's a little bit of hair on the deal, if there's more moving parts, we're going to Fannie Mae or some of the CMBS lenders. It may take a little bit longer to get the deal done, uh, but that's what we're here for, is to manage that process and make sure that it's not taking too long to get the deal done. If you got any more questions about that, you want to talk more about it, feel free to reach out, give me a call. My information is below. I'll be more than happy to help you out any way I can. Thank you.